Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me well. Sorry for the slightly late start, but yeah, having had a bit of a bit of a technical issue here. But look, all okay now. Hopefully everything's running well, and you can see me, hear me. Great. So, yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have another look at the markets, at the technical picture, how we can set ourselves up for the day, for next week. But before we go there, we need to quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Oh, and by the way, of course, I'll disappear here for a little bit and then I'll come back. And I'm back. So, okay, guys. Also, before we go further, we jump into the charts. Just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. I believe you can find some useful information here. You can always reach out to us, guys. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me if you wish. Look, if you have anything, just let us know. But look, for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one, as always, I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225 and the beautiful picture right here. We saw a nice move here. Look, I talked about this barrier right here, this 29,235, and I said that until I get a clear break through this area, I'm not really gonna do anything here. I'm just gonna observe the price action. And well, yes, I was cautiously bullish because we were still above this upside line taken from the low, the 6th of April. And yeah, we broke the 29,235 territory. So now we've tested my other target, the 29,425, and the question is, can we go further north? And by further north, what I mean here is I'm going to be aiming for this little territory around that kind of 30,000 mark, roughly around there, guys. Not something, exactly, but just let's say maybe up to 30,000, maybe a little bit above up to 30,000, but in general, the area around the 30,000 mark. Now, look, what's next? In order to go lower, I need to see a break of this upside line. And previously I talked about this highlighted zone, but given that we have moved much more away, to the right here and to the upside, that kind of brings me closer. Actually, brings my attention towards the upside line. And this, if we can get it break through this one, then yes, more sellers could join in and we could see a nice good little drift to the downside. Now ASX 200. Oh, and yeah, so by the way, this is kind of pretty straightforward with Nikkei, to be honest. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. ASX 200 also, again, similar story. Look, we flirted with this 7,217 territory, and we kind of saw this rebound here, and to be honest, we're still in between these two levels. I talked about this and I said to you that in order for me to consider the next short-term directional move, I need to see a clearance of one of these levels. So either a good drop, and I need to see the body of the daily candle staying below it. Now you can say that, hey, but it stayed yesterday. Yes, and it started moving lower, but you see, this is the thing. Whenever it stays, whenever I say that if it needs to stay here, and it actually needs to stay. So if it starts reversing back up, this is your point where either you have to have a stop loss here just in case it does something like this so that you would be protected, or yeah, I mean, just maybe a little bit higher if you think that this is too close. But in general, you have to kind of keep in mind that if this gets broken, yes, this increases the chances for a move further south. But if it suddenly starts picking up the pace, and the bulls should start picking up the pace and push this the index back to the upside here, back above this hurdle, then, well, this is where it could be the cue for you to leave it and just jump out of it. So you have to kind of keep that in mind all the time. So yes, it's always an adjustment game, unfortunately, and it's always adjustments. So yeah, we always have to adjust to the situation in the market. Well, actually, not only in the market, in life as well. Always need to adjust. Unfortunately, not everybody likes changes, but these happen every day. Now then, let's say enough of me giving you morals here, like giving you wisdom lectures. I think I need one myself. But anyway, Nasdaq 100, guys. Beautiful move. I talked a lot about this whole week. And yes, after we had the CPI numbers came out on Wednesday, we had that pop. I talked about this and I said that if we clear this area, then yeah, my next target is the 13,500 territory. Beautiful test. Now what's next? Well, if we clear this territory, then yes, I will continue targeting my favorite level here. Right now is the 13,740 area near the highest point of August of last year. So this could be my next target. And if we do clear this 13,500 zone, then yes, I'll go higher. For the downside, I would need to see a drop below this upside line, below the 13,220 territory right here, and then yes, more sellers could join in here, guys, and we could be back inside the range, the previous range, of course. Maybe then the range will not carry any more significance. We'll just kind of keep an eye on something else. Maybe we'll just keep an eye on the 50-day EMA. But look, let's go slowly, step by step. For now, we can see that if you've missed, let's say, this breakout to the upside, okay, look, I would say we're still bullish, but I need to see a nice good push above that 13,500 zone. If I don't get that, and if we start getting something like this, then yes, and I'll consider something like this. I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement. I'll keep an eye on that 13,350 territory. Maybe this time it'll act as a nice area of support. But if it doesn't, then yes, a clearance here and a break of this upside line may attract a few more sellers into the game. Dow declined yesterday. And look, in general, yesterday we got some data. Okay, the BoE, I'll get to that in a bit. But the PPIs, the US PPI, the producer price index, basically that one declined a little bit. The forecast was for a 0.3, the plus 0.3, but it came out at plus 0.2. Now, is that bad? Yes, it didn't meet the forecast, but it did do better than the previous number. The previous got adjusted. It was minus 0.4, and now it came out at plus 0.2. So, okay, look, I mean, it still shows that the price, kind of the change in price, did go a little bit higher. So, yeah, okay, that kind of pushed the market maybe a little bit lower, kind of gave it that little spook that maybe the Fed will continue raising rates. But with the whole situation with the Fed right now, looking at the CME here, the Fed Watch tool. Okay, I said to you in the beginning of this week I went after the meeting when we kind of had this sitting here at 99% or something. I said, look, eventually this might kind of the percentage here for a rate hike, for a 25 basis point rate hike, might drift at some point back to the to the 50%, maybe something like that, before the 14th of June. Because look, we still have enough time. I mean, or actually not enough, a lot of time, because we still have a bunch of data that could come out. So just kind of keep your mind around that fact. So there is still potential for a rate hike. I get it. Everybody's now talking that we're not going to have one. Okay, if we're not going to have one, that's fine. But the thing is that, unfortunately, what history taught me here in the markets is that you cannot trust anything in general. Yes, if most of the time, let's say what these tools here are saying, yes, they most of the time they're correct. Of course, great. But you do have exceptions sometimes. And look, for now, of course, yes, the expectation that there's not going to be a rate hike, yes, because there's we're seeing a decline in inflation. We're seeing this whole saga with the debt ceiling, which could drag on a little bit longer. And, in order not to kind of, let's say, spook the market, or, you can see that inflation is dropping, that's why the Fed might, not go for a rate hike this time. So everything's logical, everything's, everything makes sense. But you just need something in the market, something to come out. And then, suddenly everybody's surprised, like, oh my God, like, how did it happen? And, stuff like this. So, that's why maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the skeptic. Maybe I'm the, controversial, controvert, or what's the word for that? But in general, I'm always leaving an element of the doubt in general. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is straightforward. Well, although sometimes we want to see it straightforward, but it's not sometimes low. So yeah, just bear with me one moment, guys. I need to. I'll disappear. I'll disappear here for a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm back. I think I had a bit of a sneeze. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, coming back to the markets here, look, the Dow. If you remember, in the beginning of this week, I said to you that if we do clear one of these territories and stay either above the 33,800 or below the 33,560 territory right here, then I'll consider the next short-term directional move. Well, what did we get here? We got that breakout, and look, initially I said to you that also maybe this is forming something like a nice bullish flag. But for that bullish flag, you would need to see a clearance of this territory, of this 33,800 zone. So we got, instead of that, we got a drop below the 33,560. We fell below the 50-day EMA. And look, I talked about this, and I said to you that what I'm going to aim for then are going to be my 100-day EMA and the 200-day EMA. Boom, boom. Great. Wonderful. I think I am quite happy with this result. And I don't think, but I'm quite happy with this result. So we got my target. My target got reached. Now what's next? Well, at this point, I am leaving it because this is the tricky bit. I mean, we could start with seeing some oscillation around the 100-day EMA, maybe the 50, maybe the 200. Either way, guys, I think that what's better here is to now take a conservative approach. And look, I think that if we do start falling below the 200-day EMA, this could increase the chances for a possible further move lower. But if we don't get that drop here and we rebound back up, yes, the 50-day EMA could be a good target to watch, but at this point in time, I think that I will wait and I'll stick to my 33,800 territory for the upside. Simple as that, guys. The German index, DAX, of course. There we go. I just jumped off from the camera site. Of course. Nothing. Nothing. We're just observing the price action. Honestly, I'm still waiting for this one to do something. Okay, I'm happy that it's at least doing something inside the range. But like I said, congratulations. I keep congratulating every video, every webinar. I keep congratulating people who are trading in some sort of a grid here. Range trading and. Well done, guys, to you. But again, this is the thing. When will it end? When will it end? So if you are positioning yourselves carefully, guys, then, you're probably doing very well here. But in general, for now, I would say, yeah, I'm just going to continue observing the price action. I'm waiting for a pop either above the 16,063 territory right here or a drop below the 15,809 zone right there. And yeah. Once I get my clearance of one of my levels, then I'll go from there. Yeah, so FTSE 100, of course, the BoE. Look, yesterday we had a bit of a roller coaster ride. We drifted lower, but still, we tested my target, the 7,687. We tested it. We then kind of tried to move lower, but we failed, and we rebounded back up, moved back to the 50-day EMA. Sorry, something is still stuck in my nose. I do apologize. Ugh. Yeah, so we're kind of stuck here still. So really, to be honest, it's not really working out well here for me. What I need here is a clear breakout. If I can get a drop below the 7,687 territory right here, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low and potentially could attract more sellers to drive the index towards the 7,585 territory, somewhere around here, and this 200-day EMA, which could provide a bit of support. Now, if we do break the downside line, although a tentative one, still this may attract a few more buyers, and we could start seeing this one pushing towards the 7,937 or even above that. Actually, before I go further, I saw a comment on my previous video from Kirill Crypto. Yeah, I really appreciate what you do, so thank you. I don't know if you're listening, if you're joining in here right now, but I really thank you very much for the comment, guys. And in general, guys, thank you very much for all your support, for all your comments, and for all your rockets. Because those do help me a lot. But yeah, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, and if you have any questions, honestly, if there is something that you want me to look into, or but normally this is the list that I have that I go through. So if you have anything that's not on the list, then ask me. I'll see if I can cover it. Right, another index, dollar index. Boom, there we go, guys. We cleared the territory. We cleared the downside line. We cleared the upper side of this. Okay, whatever you want to call it, a veg, a triangle. I mean, for me, it looks more like a veg here, not like, okay, although it is like a triangle. So, but the fact stays the fact that we cleared the upper side of it. And I said to you previously that, look, yes, I'll get a little bit more comfortable with the upside if we start clearing this downside line, but I will get even more comfortable if we clear this highlighted territory of mine, this resistance zone between the, or actually around that 102 level. If we do get that, then yes, I will go further north, guys. Simple as that. For now, yes, I'm just observing this one. I'm cautiously bullish, but I need that confirmation break because I don't want this to end up being something of a range. For example, now if let's say it starts flirting with this territory, gives us maybe a false breakout and then drift back down. So no, I don't need that. I need some clarity. So far, I'm not really getting that. I'm getting a bit of a tease, but can I get that confirmation breakout? Let's wait and see. For the downside, actually, if it starts falling back below the downside line and falls below the 101.56 territory right here, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers. And yes, we could see a drift lower here, maybe a test of this upside line or something like that, and then we'll go from there. Now then, gold, of course, dollar increases, gold falls. And to be honest, look, I talked about this and I said to you that, look, this kind of looks like something of a bearish flag or something like that. But, but again, a confirmation break below the 2015 territory is required, and we fell below it. And now it's kind of, I'm leaning towards the downside. My next target is the psychological 2000 mark. I mean, we're only about $6 away from it. So let's see if we can reach that. If we clear that 2000, my next target is the upside line taken from the low of the 19th of April. I get it. It's a little bit on the tentative side, but we also have the 50-day EMA right here, which could provide a bit of support. So, in a way, the upside scenario is not off the table yet, no, but from the very short-term perspective, let's say maybe from today's perspective, maybe we could see a further decline here towards that psychological 2000 mark and maybe even a little bit further. But if, in order for me to, let's say, start considering the upside, now this is where the tricky bit comes in. Now, this 2030 territory, although I like it, at the same time, I accept the fact that it might not be the best line to watch, the best barrier to watch. Maybe this downside line could do the trick. Again, also a tentative one. So in a way, we're kind of... I'm kind of trying to find something, basically. I'm not, you know, not, of course, not being biased here or anything. No, because I'm just trying to see what could work. But at this point, everything's very, very tentative. And the only thing that I'm kind of probably more leaning to is the fact that, yes, the fact that we stayed below the 2015 territory. My next target is the psychological 2000 mark. And today's Friday. Look, on Fridays, we do get sometimes these one-way traffics, and they just kind of, you know, start moving and moving. And you know, that's why we will be a little bit more on the careful side. You know, if, let's say, if you're doing anything like counter trend trading, then yeah, just kind of be careful on that in that sense. So yeah, look, I'm not gonna spend too much time on gold anymore, but that's the game plan. Let's wait and see. Silver, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, look, I talked about this. I said to you that if we drop below the 25.39 territory and we stay below it, I will go lower. I will aim for my territory right here, the highlighted zone. The highlighted zone, which is roughly between the 24.63 and 73 levels. Tick. We got a test of that, and it continued to slide. And this is where my other scenario said that if we clear that one, because that's the lower side of the range, previous range, I said that if we clear that one, this opens the door for a further decline towards the 50. If we clear that one, then maybe this 24.16. And I had this on the chart. You can check out my videos from the beginning of this week, yeah, from yesterday. I have these levels here in my chart, and this is where I'm aiming now for. I'm aiming for the 100-day EMA initially, although slightly below it, I have a very good support zone around here, around the 1.23, 52, 57 levels, something around that. Look, for now, I'm targeting this. I want to see if we can reach that. I'm going to stick to the downside as long as we're going to remain actually below this hurdle, below that 24.16. Don't get me wrong, even if we push a little bit above it, you know, the 50-day EMA could still play out nicely here. But either way, guys, the more confident downside scenario for me is if we stay below this 24.16. If we push back above it, then there's a kind of a chance that we know maybe the bulls could pick up or something like that, and you know, and so on and so on. But that's why I will keep it careful here, you know, cautious, and then yeah, and then we'll go from there. For the upside, by the way, this is where I'll redraw this arrow, and I'm gonna put it this way. So if we do climb back above the lower side of the range and we climb it back inside the range, yes, I'll consider some higher levels within the range. Platinum. Look, I'm actually gonna pick up on some of these other instruments as well. I mean, some commodities. Today's Friday. I mean, I do like to look at these some of the exotic instruments, because I mean, maybe you don't trade them very often, but actually they do present very nice opportunities. Look, platinum, I talked about this week actually, and I said to you that, look, it made my day when it drifted, you know, when we broke this downside line. I said I'm going to go higher. My next target is going to be the area near that 1135 territory right here. We kind of went there, and then we drifted back down. I said to you that if we stay above the 1090 territory, somewhere above this area, then yes, I'll consider a move back up. If we start clearing it to the downside, I'll take a neutral stand. But if it starts falling below the 1076 territory right here, I'll take a little bit of a bearish stance, at least in the near term. Maybe at least towards the 50-day EMA initially. Although I have my arrow up until here, that's my ideal scenario. But look, maybe the 50-day EMA could provide a bit of support. But again, let's not rush into anything, because on the other hand, you know, if I reuse this this upside line, I'll do this downside line, I mean, and use it as an upside line, then yep, this is where actually the 50-day EMA could come in handy. I mean, and with together with this upside line, because I mean, both of them could coincide and could provide fantastic support. But again, too early. First, we need to see some clearance here. Oil, okay, beautiful. And look, I stuck to my game plan. I said I will go higher, although I got that breakout. I will go higher only if I get a push above the 74 territory, and this is what I'm getting. Well, not. You know, I didn't get that push, and we saw a sharp decline. Dollar got stronger yesterday. And yes, we saw this effect here on oil, and also the whole debt ceiling crisis kind of still kicking in. So look, we might see oil maybe a little bit more on the downside going into this whole kind of debt ceiling issue. But yeah, look, in general, from the technical perspective, I really sometimes don't care. If it works for me technically, then yes, I'm quite happy about it. Yes, of course, fundamentals, very important, guys, honestly. But again, for now, at this point, look, it fell below this area, my 38.2% retracement that I talked about, which was roughly around that 71.25 level. We fell below it, and now it's kind of opening the door towards some lower levels. But what I said to you previously yesterday, that I'm keeping an eye on this 69.82 territory right here, marked by the inside swing high of the 4th of May. If we clear that one, then my next target is the 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, which, to be honest, already I could get rid of it because it's kind of, we already did that 50% retracement here, you know, so everything's boom, 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 perfect. But I'm still keeping an eye on it because sometimes I've noticed that sometimes, yes, the market does like to revisit, like, let's say, like in this case, for example, does like to revisit and put some emphasis on some of these levels from the Fibonacci. So yeah, at the moment, that's why my target is initially the 69.82. But if that gets cleared, the 23.6 is my next target. Corn, something that you don't look at very often, but I mentioned this before, and look, after we had that spectacular decline, I've mentioned this, we started forming something of a flag here, a bearish flag, and not ideal, but because it's kind of weirdly shaped something, but again, still something bearish, and from the short-term perspective, I think that if we do start falling somewhere below this territory, below the 579 zone, then yes, more sellers could join in. But as you can see here, I have a curved arrow back to the upside, so that's why I'm aiming initially only for the 565 territory, somewhere around here, marked near the lowest point of, is that 2022? Yeah, the lowest point of 2022, guys. And then we'll go from there. If we do get a rebound, great, I'll go back up. If we don't clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low and potentially could attract more sellers. Cotton, just a quick update on cotton. I kept on talking a lot about this one, and look at this downside line. Honestly, spectacular. It still is doing a good job. It's providing resistance. So yeah, what's not to like about it? And we're kind of stuck in this area here between these trend lines, and in a way, what does that mean? That means it's coiling up, and it means it's getting into a bit of a squeeze. And then the question is which way that's going to break out to. Well, for that, we have our trend lines, and we're going to stay calm and cautious and just going to observe the price action on this one. And yes, if we get that clearance of one of these sides, great. I will go. I will consider the next short-term directional move, guys. Bitcoin, boom, there we go. So look, I the whole week I was talking about this, and last week actually as well I was talking about this, and I said to you that hey, maybe, just maybe, this could be a nice head and shoulders pattern. And well, there we go. We break the neckline. The so-called neckline was here, this upside line, and we also fell below the this 26,550 territory, and we've tested the 100-day EMA, where we are currently finding good support. Can we see this drifting further south? Yes, if we do clearly drop again below the 100-day EMA. If we do that, my next target is the area somewhere between these 25,250 and the 25,370 levels, approximately around there. Slightly below it, we do have the 200-day EMA, which also could be a nice good target. So yeah, as you can see here, this highlighted zone here has been seen as a good area of support, resistance. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of putting the emphasis on it too. But for that, we need to see a drop below the 100-day EMA. For the upside, oh boy, for the upside, I would say I am keeping an eye on this downside line. And if this downside line gets broken, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with the upside. Until then, I'm just going to observe the price action. I know this is a big territory to miss out on, but I'd rather stay safe than sorry. Ethereum, also doing good. So far so good, working out nicely. Look, previously I said to you that if we do drop and stay below the 1785 territory, I'll go lower. I'll aim for that 100-day EMA. If that gets cleared, my next target is the 200-day EMA. For now, I'm sticking to that. For the upside, I said to you that I would like to see a push above the 50-day EMA, but to be honest, now I think that it would be a little bit better to just kind of maybe stick to this downside line and to wait for a clearance of that one in order to go higher. AUDUSD. So far, so good. I'm quite happy with this one because, look, I talked about this and I said to you, wait for it. Wait until we get the body of the daily candle staying above that upper side of the range. And otherwise, we could see a drop. And look what we got. We got a drop, and it fell below all of my EMAs. And what I said to you previously, that this week I said to you that if it falls back below all the EMAs, I'm kind of starting to lean a little bit more towards the downside. Well, I'm gonna stick to that. I'm going to stick to my idea. If it reverses back up, okay, you know, it's going to be neutral for me. As long as it basically starts oscillating around the EMAs here of mine, then yes, I'm just observing the price action. For the upside, I still need to see that push above the 0.6793. For the downside, well, I'm getting my downside right now, so I'm leaning towards the downside. AUDNZD, this one's a little bit different. Well, here, you know, we have a nice reversal. Not that the Australian dollar is the stronger one. No, we got the New Zealand business purchasing manager index number, which declined, which fell into contraction. So it contracted, it fell below 50. Although the forecast was for a higher one, but it stayed below 50 because previous number was at 48.1. Let me just double check that. Yeah, the previous one was at 48.1, and it was what everybody was hoping that maybe we'll get into expansion, but no, we stayed in contraction below 50, and so yeah, this didn't play very well with the New Zealand dollar. And here in this pair, to be honest, look, I said it before and I'll say it again, one of my favorite pairs. So very technical. Look, I mean, we rebounded from this upside line and we're pushing back to the upside. I will stick to my guns and I will get a little bit more excited with the upside if we do push back up to the 1.0735 territory, and then I'll aim for this downside line. Now, we also, from the shorter term perspective, I also mentioned this little hurdle, which is working out nicely, the 1.0683. And yeah, great. I can't say anything wrong. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 1.0623, and then I'll go from there. I'm not going to expand on this anymore. I'm just going to purely continue looking at the way I'm looking at it. Because why? Because it's working for me. NZDCHF. This one I've mentioned previously as well. When we broke the downside line, I said, look, I'm going to aim for the 0.5664. And then if we clear that one, I'll aim for the 100-day EMA. Well, look, that's it. Kind of got just my idea got justified because I said to you I'm not going to aim for like something like bigger or higher. No, I'm just going to go slowly, step by step, and this is what we got. Great move here, great test, 0.5664. Now what's next? Basically, I would say if we do fall below, well, we already fell back below the downside line, and I said to you about this as well, that if we fall back below it, my next target is the 0.5572, and we're on track to reaching that. Maybe we'll also reach this upside line, but if that upside line gets broken, well, guess what? Further declines are possible. USDJPY, wow, this is messy and interesting. I talked about this and I said to you that keep your eyes on that upside line and keep your eyes on those EMAs. Yesterday we did initially, before the number came out, we did push higher. Then the number came out, we started heavily drifting lower. We all went all the way here somewhere to that 133.76, 75 territory. Good, found good support there, and look at this, boom, sharp reversal back up. I think we can see this on a hourly chart. There we go. Initially went here, then found support somewhere near this 750 territory, 133.750, and then look at this, a sharp reversal back up. Great. Now what's next? Well, if we go from the 1 hour chart, then yes, I am keeping an eye on this yesterday's high near the 134.85 roughly. If we clear that one, great. More buyers could join in, and we could start seeing this one pushing back to this 135.30 territory. That's going to be my next target. But if that gets cleared, guys, this is where excitement among the bulls could rise, and more of them could join in, and we could see this one pushing higher. And in general, what does it say in general for me? That look, if we do start pushing higher there, maybe this could also help out the stock market somehow, because again, that would mean that not everybody's jumping into the yen, and not everybody's jumping into safe havens, and this is where gold could decline as well. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's see how this is going to play out, but I'm going to approach this from the technical perspective. And look, if it falls below this upside line taken from below the 13th of April, then and falls below all of the EMAs, I'll go lower. USDCAD, beautiful sharp push. Look, I talked about this as well. I said to you that if we push higher, and I was yesterday in my video, I was saying that we might see a push higher, but if we get a hold up somewhere below this 200-day EMA, another decline here could be possible. We did push above the 1.3448. This was my scenario for the upside, and this my scenario for the upside seems to be working out nicely. My next targets were these, the 1.3488, or the two EMAs, the 50 and the 100. Now, slightly above that, we do have the 1.3537, which could be also a nice good target. But for now, yes, long story short, we pushed above the 1.3448. So yeah, more buyers could join in here. And my next target, like I said, are the two EMAs here and this 1.3537. GBPUSD. So yes, of course, yesterday Bank of England did increase the rates by 25 basis points. I think that also, let me just double check something. Yeah. Where's that bit of text which I found? Yeah, basically they said that the is expected yeah, so basically they will continue, they believe that they will continue raising rates. However, at the same time, they said that they have revised their GDP forecasts, and those are the biggest upward revision. So basically they're saying that the UK economy is no longer in recession, and more kind of up moves are possible. Okay, that's quite interesting. We'll see, of course, how that plays out. I mean, maybe this is a little bit of a the glass is half full moment, but okay, let's wait and see, guys. For now, what I can say here is from the technical perspective, 1.2584 territory here is the was the level that I was watching for the downside. I said that if we break below it, my next target is the upside line. If we break this upside line, my next target is the 50 and the 50-day EMA and this upside line. But if the upside line gets cleared, this big one here, that's where more sellers could join in. So just keep on watching this one. For the upside, I need to see a push back above the 1.2666, and then I'll get comfortable with the upside. All this area here, look, if you're looking for something a little bit more short term, you can keep an eye on this little hurdle. And if we do push back above it, then yes, I will start considering the upside, but I'll get more comfortable with the upside on a break above the 1.2666. GBPCHF, also beautiful push lower. We tested the upside line. We're currently getting a hold up there. Can we get a rebound from it? Well, let's wait and see. But to be honest, my upside scenario will come on this break above the 1.1260. If I don't get that, I'm not really getting comfortable with the upside. For the downside, what I talked about previously is yesterday as well. I said that, look, I'm keeping an eye on this hurdle, this 1.1192. Whichever is going to come first. Will this level come first? We'll get a re-break. If we break this level, then we'll keep an eye on this upside line, because if that upside line gets broken, that's where I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable with the downside. However, I said to you that if we start to like maybe ranging here to moving up and down, maybe we'll break the upside line here first, and then we'll have to just monitor this hurdle. So this is something that you kind of constantly need to adjust to. And for now, I'm keeping an eye on this upside line. If we break that, I'm going to go lower, and my next target will be around here, near the 1.1094. GBPJPY, beautiful. Look, I said to you before that if we do rebound from this upside line, great. I will go back up maybe, but still even a confirmation break above this 171 territory would be required. But we broke the upside line, and I said to you as well that even if we break the upside line, I need a clearance of this territory right here, this area around that 168 territory. This is what I mentioned to you yesterday. And there we go. It found good support around here. Now it rebounded, and now it's kind of stuck. So if we do drop below that 168 zone, I will go lower. Simple as that. My next target then initially will be the 50-day EMA. If we clear that one, then it's my ideal target, the 165.41. EURCAD, guys, beautiful rebound again from this 1.4642 area, approximately around there. I said to you that I need to see a clearance of that one in order to go lower, but also at the same time we have the 50-day EMA, which is in the way here. So basically, in other words, the 100-day EMA, this is shown as the green line here. So that one needs to get cleared as well. If we do get that, then great, wonderful. 1.4585 is the next target. If that gets cleared, then a forthcoming lower low gets confirmed, then we could start aiming for that 200-day EMA. Very simplistic approach here on EURCAD. For the upside, basically, I need to see a push back above this upside line and back above the 1.4841 zone right here, and then we'll go from there. EURUSD, so we fell below the 1.0964. Okay, that's fine. We drifted lower. My next target was this, and I've reached my target yesterday. Congratulations to me. Sorry about that, but a little bit of a smug moment. But look, what I said to you previously, that if we do fall below the 1.0964, my next target is the 50-day EMA together with this 1.0909 hurdle. And we found fantastic support around here. Now, in order to go further south, a drop below that area is required. And we would need to stay below it. Not only falls breakout, but also we need to stay below it. If we don't stay, we don't go. We then will reverse, we could reverse back to the upside. For the upside, well, this is the tricky bit. Now, as much as I would like to consider this 1.0964 territory again, I think that the better option for the upside is this downside line. Yes, it kind of coincides nicely here with my lower side of the previous range here, but yes, let's stick to this downside line instead. And yeah, all this area here for me, I'm just going to observe the price action. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to, yeah, stay a little bit on the neutrals or maybe cautiously bearish. But again, I need my confirmation break here below the 1.0909 territory, and then we'll go from there. So guys, that's it for this session, for this day, and for this week. Now, the week is not finished yet. That's only me with my video who's finished. But I hope guys, you liked my videos this week. I hope, I hope those somehow helped you. I really appreciate you joining in, and I really appreciate you spending time, your valuable time here on my videos. Honestly, that means a lot to me. Thank you very much, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I really wish you a fantastic trading day today. Don't overtrade. That's the most important thing in general, and especially on Friday. If you're, let's say you have already fantastic performance, up to today, up to now, leave it. Honestly, don't mess it up. Normally, this is what happens. It normally just, you're thinking, just another extra trade, and it'll be fine. No, that extra trade will wipe out your all profits, and maybe, you'll go into minus, and then you will go in all frustrated into the weekend. So if you have done already, like I say, some sort of a profit, honestly, don't overtrade, just leave it. And there's always Monday, and you always leave Fridays, like for, let's say, if you haven't made a decent profit yet, then maybe you can try to figure out something, maybe try to use it, But again, don't forget that Friday sometimes is the one-way traffic. So if you're counter trend trading, then it might not work out. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, just like I said, don't overtrade. Have your stop losses in place all the time. Risk only what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. And on that note, have a beautiful weekend, everyone. See you on Monday, 6 o'clock GMT time. As always, tune in, and we'll start again the week. Thank you very much, and bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So, like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.